guys.
Last class, I was telling you about key fields, data fields, and functional specification, technical specification, whatever are the primary key fields in the table below the data source, those will be the key fields in the DST. So these all points we discussed. Whether to go for a custom object or standard object also we discussed. So we saw that if you want to do, if any property is not matching, you go for a custom object. So and also we discussed that corresponding master data would have been supplied. So for master data, whatever object you have used, you should use the same object for transaction data. So keeping all things in mind, for balance, I'm using a custom object. For quantity, a standard object. For account, for company code and plant, I'm using a standard object itself. For account and profit center, I will be using custom object. Let us see why I am using custom objects for account and plant. For account, the standard object would be zero account. Okay. Let me create a dummy cube.
You're creating a cube or DSO?
I'm creating a dummy cube. I'm including zero account. I added only one object. So did only one object come or any other extra object has come? Yes. What do you see?
Account number and
The text.
What did I add and how many objects did I get?
2.
So did I add chart of accounts?
No.
How come did I get it? So
Was linked to zero count?
correct. So let us see how it is linked. If someone is not aware that it is linked, they would try to remove it. And then when they activate it, they would get the message, higher level info object, chart of accounts is not contained. So for account, chart of account is the higher level info object or the superior info object. Let us understand what exactly it is. Here you are finding a compounding tab. It is account is compounded to chart of accounts. Okay. Let us say we are having 2 companies. If these are 2 companies, they are having their own source system, but entire data I am loading it into the single BW system. So can the same account number be there in both the companies? Is it possible? Yes.
The same account number says for the both companies? Possible.
How come they are differentiating in that case?
With the company code, maybe, street, Tata.
Okay. So
Yeah, Tata Steel and Tata Power.
So there should be something which differentiates. Otherwise, they cannot maintain the same account number. Okay. Then, when we are loading this data into BW, what is happening? This account information, to where you will load in BW, you will load to 0 account. First you are loading 1000 from this thing. After that, you are loading from this. So ideally, you need to have 2 entries for account 1000, but you will be having only 1 entry because the earlier entry is overwritten by this entry. So this is a problem in BW. You are unable to load all the data. The data is getting overwritten. So to avoid this thing, whatever is the source system dependency, they have to map it into BW. Map source system dependency into BW. Okay. So what's the source system dependency? Each company will have its own accounts book, ledger book, that is called as chart of accounts. Let us say for Tata Power it is Tata Steel. So the chart of accounts, the book name, it can be TS for Tata Steel, it will be TP for Tata Power, let us say. Because these two books are different, the chart of accounts is different, they are able to maintain. So this source system dependency, if you achieve it in PW side, then you can load the data. So to achieve that, if you get it as attribute, okay, so 1000 and TS is coming. If you get the chart of accounts as normal attribute, 1000 and TS is coming, then again 1000 and TP is coming, will it be overwritten?
No.
No. Just take about some example. Material number, material type, 101, its attribute is A, then again 101 attribute is B is coming. What will happen?
We override.
Override. So in
Yeah,
this case
override.
also, that's what I am saying. The
Hmm.
chart of account I am getting as an attribute.
Yeah.
So it would get overwritten.
Overwritten,
So
yeah.
what we have understood, if you get it as an attribute, there is no point, because attribute is not part of primary key.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So, but in our case, we need to add to our key. So we go with compounding. Uniqueness to our primary key. So our primary key is account. To that I want to add uniqueness. So that's why instead of going with this thing, I go with the compounding attribute. By this, the compounded object becomes part of primary key and avoids the overwriting. So you can see they have added chart of accounts to they have compounded chart of accounts to account to chart of account. You can see so many attributes are there, around 6 attributes are there. But go to the table, none of the attributes are part of the primary key except the chart of accounts that has been added to the primary key. So you have defined an uniqueness to your primary key. So in this case, now if the values come like this, will it be retained or again will it get overwritten? Yes. After enabling this compounding,
Yeah.
can these values be loaded as it is? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So the primary key combination is including account and chart of accounts. That combination is unique, hence both the values will be loaded. We are avoiding the overwriting. So finally what we are doing,
So with
whatever,
this compounding, we can add whatever attribute plus the primary key we want to make a combination.
correct. So whatever source system dependency is there, like this, account, can I say like this? Which is correct? Since we are aware of the source system dependency, which one is true and which is false?
First one is true.
Correct. So a ledger book can be there, but they need not maintain accounts.
This not
Fine.
right. That's
Second,
false.
false. Because until and unless a ledger book is there, they cannot start maintaining the accounts.
Right.
So in this case, which is superior, account or chart of accounts?
Chart of account.
Correct. So account is compounded to superior info object, chart of accounts. Same thing is you are seeing. So whatever you have source system dependency, to achieve that in BW, you use the concept of compounding. If you put it as a normal attribute, that won't be part of your primary key. So what your main intention, you need to add to your add uniqueness to our primary key. Our primary key was only account, but still overwriting was happening. But to add uniqueness, I am going with the compounding attribute. This is a concept of compounding. Now what else we have seen? Whenever you have a compounding attribute, the superior object, the higher level object must always be there. You cannot remove it. So in our case also, if you will add 0 account, chart of account will come. That will not cause any issue. You can leave it like that, but that entire column will be blank. From source, I am not supplied any chart of accounts. In my scenario, they are not supplying me any chart of accounts. So why should I go with the standard object? Unnecessarily one column will be blank for chart of accounts. So better I will go with a custom object. So that's why for account I am going with a custom object, just because of this compounding issue. Likewise, for profit center also, controlling area is a compounding object.
So you're saying if there is a compounding object, we just
So again,
create a custom object, right?
yeah, in this scenario, my source system is not following the same concept. That's why I have not been supplied any chart of accounts. That's why I am not using this object. I'm going with a custom object. For profit center, you have chart of accounts as the. For profit center, you have controlling area as the compounding. So again, if I use profit center everywhere, chart controlling area will be coming. But I don't have any controlling area. That column will be blank. So why to leave blank? I am removing. Instead of using profit center standard, I am using a custom object. Okay. So how to create that custom object? The data type should be char, the length should be 4, no lowercase, no attributes, no alpha, no text like that. We can choose all the options and define in the technical specifications such that whoever is designing can easily see this and design. So let us build the flow for our scenario. This is our data. We have written down a basic technical specification as well. So steps to load. Transaction data from file to DSO. Create info area. Choose the source system. Create application component and create data source. Create DSO. After loading to the DSO, we have to activate it, right? So activate DSO. Okay, so let us do that.
The transformation is not a part of it.
Correct. Define transformation. Create a sub info area. Whatever you create will fall under this, but standard objects, you are using couple of them, right? Company code and plant, you can include them right now, or you can include later on as well. Now create account. Okay, characteristics wise everything I created, key figure. Choose key figure. Zero quantity also we can use, or we can use a custom object. For quantity I am using in our case the units is units, but for standard object you will get the unit as units of measure. Let us create a custom object for that quantity as well. So first I need to create the unit. Description is units. Now it should be of type units and measure activated. Likewise for balance also, currency you create. It is currency type. So create a currency type. It's of type currency. Activate it. So create key figure and go to your catalog and create it. First you activate your catalog. Accumulated balance. Then view the currency. Okay. I have not chosen X quantity. Now it will not cause issue. So info area you created, catalogs and info objects you created. Now choose the source system. Okay, so you create your application component. Now create data source. Transaction data source. Load it from server. Okay, you know how to upload it from server. Someone has already uploaded it. I am going to use the uploaded file. Okay, so this one is the DIO, DSO. I'll just check the contents once. So it's the same contents which we want to load. Copy the path.
Yeah, I mean, would we be able to do the upload from the server too?
Yeah,
We did the last one.
I've already shown it while
Yeah,
we were loading for text.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same process, just you follow the same procedure. It's simple.
Yeah.
Okay. Now do you want automatic mapping? So give the names. Copy the properties. Now all the fields will have info object properties. That's why mapping will come automatically. Whenever you are doing this, always ensure whatever your file sequence is there, the field sequence, here also the same sequence should be the same. Data source got activated. Read the preview. Just check and tell me. Observe one or two rows and tell me is everything fine or anything needs to be corrected. Yes?
The calendar day.
Correct. It's not coming in the correct format.
Yeah.
So let us see why it is not coming in the correct format. So did you hear about conversion routine? I don't think so. We have seen it, right?
No, no.
No.
Yeah. So usually, if you talk about some material number, that number will be 18 characters in length. So will you be entering material number like this, or will you be entering, which is better?
7896.
Correct. Because that is comfortable from user point of view. But
Yes.
what is this? This is an external format. Likewise, this is an internal format.
Internal format meaning the system format?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Because why I am saying internal format is we have defined the length as 18.
Okay.
So it has to store 18 characters. So that's why it is adding all leading zeros.
Mm-hmm.
So this conversion from external to internal should happen while loading data or while writing data. External to internal while writing data, as well as while reading data when you want to show the output in the report. Which is comfortable, internal format or external format?
External.
Because user will get confused if he sees so many zeros. So internal to external while reading data. So this should be automated. This is possible via conversion routine. Routine is nothing but a piece of code. So two logics will be there. Let us see. For any object, we were talking about material, right? So let us check material. The length of the object is 18, or go with the account number itself. The length of the object is 10. We have a conversion routine defined in the info object level, alpha. So just to double click that.
So
You have one
is
logic.
was that alpha like from the system? That was a system routine, right? Or is it something else?
Yes, just now like whatever we are discussing, one of the example is alpha. Alpha means to convert or add leading zeros.
Okay.
I'll just explain you. So two logics are there. Usually this will is to external to internal while writing, and okay, this logic is there. Simple input. Let us see what happens. Execute it. If you are supplying 7896, you can see all leading zeros are coming. So like this, it does the format conversion from internal to external and external to internal. This one is more useful if you see some time characteristic 0 cal month. Usually we are comfortable to mention month.year, right? But internally, system maintains this way. So we have a conversion routine called Peri6. Just double click and see its functionality. Let us execute. So we are supplying 06.2014. It takes it as 201406. Likewise, output. What the 201406. This was the format, right? Internal. It gets converted into external format. So like this.
So there would be would there be date, month, and year also like that?
Yeah. It's there for everything. So Peri6 for calendar month. So for fiscal period, you have the same concept. We are supplying in period.year. This is how we are supplying. But system internally maintains period, year and period. So this conversion needs to be done. So we have Peri7. So these are the common conversion routines which will be used. Alpha is the most widely used. Okay. By default, while creating any characteristic, you can see by default alpha is chosen. That's the most widely used. I have selected num_c, it has gone. Char means alpha will remain. So for char, alpha is chosen by default. Okay. So for date, you have rsdat and sdate. External format is whatever you wish, mm.dd.mm.yy or dd/mm/yy. Many external formats is there, but internal format will be YYY/MM/DD. So from these external formats, you have to convert to internal format. For some you can use rsdat, for some you need to use sdate. So it depends. In this case, in our case, you have to see what to use. So go to the change mode. In our case, if you observe, what has happened is We have told that calendar day we are supplying in internal format. But what format did we supply? We supplied in external format. So we are supplying external, telling system internal, so that's why there was a date was not coming properly. So now what you have to do, you should tell that you are supplying external. When you are supplying external, obviously there should be a conversion routine which converts external to internal. So mostly it will be RST80. Now you activate it. So now you can check the preview again whether it is working properly or not. Data structures are changed. Start transaction beforehand. Obviously your PSA and your data source structure is changed, right? After you activate it. That's why you have to restart. Now it is coming properly, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is step.
Mm.
This is a good important concept. Conversion routine.
Mm.
So how we find out other kind of conversion? That's the only thing you mentioned is.
These are sufficient.
Okay.
Yeah, these are sufficient for your day-to-day. Whichever things you come across, you can go to the info object and check.
Mhm.
Okay. So I would stop with this.
Okay.
We'll continue with the loading process tomorrow.
Okay.